All right, in line with President Bola Tinubu's commitment to ensuring food sufficiency, the management of the Benin-Owena River Basin Development Authority has reaffirmed its dedication to enhancing food security across the nation. The newly appointed managing director has assured Nigerians of the agency's readiness to implement strategic measures aimed at reducing food prices. He emphasized the need for cooperation from host communities where various basin projects are located, underscoring the importance of collaborative efforts in achieving these goals. Speaking shortly after resuming office, the MD highlighted that he and his team are committed to working diligently to fulfill the agency's mandate. He also extended open invitation to investors in the agribusiness sector to seize the opportunities of the new management intends to create. Let's talk to the MD, Benin-Owena River Basins Development Authority. Dr. Femi Adekombi is live in our Abuja studios. Dr. Adekombi, thank you so much for joining the program. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tolu, and good afternoon, Nigerians.
Yes, it's good to have you in and talking about food sufficiency. Tell us, what are your plans? Some hints, give us some hints of what we should expect. Because when it has to do with food, everyone is interested.
Yeah, Tolu, and thanks for having me. Let me start by letting you know the factors that has contributed to the initial increase in food prices in Nigeria. And there are so many factors. And as an environmentalist, I've looked at all the factors, but basically, I will dwell on three factors. Number one factor is the migration from the rural areas to the urban areas. That has really affected us in Nigeria. And that is the truth. It's not about the government. Everybody wants to move to the center. Everybody wants to move to the city. Without considering the fact that in the olden days, what we used before the Odoji issue was basically on agri. We depended on agri then. But you see, every youth wants to be a big man. Everybody moved to the city. And before you know it, what they do in the city, looking for white-collar job. And white-collar job that is limited to few. So that has been our number one issue. The other issue is security, which I understand that has really brought down food production in Nigeria, and that from over time has been an issue in Nigeria. And the other one, the last one, which I want to, apart from the smaller ones, the other one is the complete neglect of the river basins in Nigeria. So those three are very important. But let me start with the issue of river basin, where I belong to. I was sworn the Commissioner of Water Resources in Ondo State, Commissioner of Special Duty, and I know a lot about river basin. And I wrote a time paper. I delivered a paper during one of our sections at the Water Summit, and I let them know that river basin play a key role in food security in Nigeria. But due to successive governments have completely neglected river basin. It may interest you to know, Tolu, that take for instance in my river basin, we only have 2 tractors.
Wow. So
how do you now want to ensure food security in Nigeria? River basin we have 12 river basins in Nigeria. They have the largest hectares of land. That is the only agencies that have the largest hectares of land in Nigeria for cultivation. How many of them are being cultivated? Less than 10–20%. So how do you now sustain food security? How do you now increase food security? So the major thing, why the renewed hope of Mr. President, if you look at the renewed hope, one of the cardinal points is food security. And that is why he brought us on board. Because you have to bring people who believe in that vision. And I, for one, have known President Tinubu since 2006. And that has been a vision. And that was what he told us. That was what he told me, that we have to go now and focus on food security through the river basin. So the river basin are going to be the focus point in ensuring that they focus more on how to cultivate all this land, on how to bring in private sector into it and development partners. So that at the end of it all, we can have all these hectares of land cultivated, we can actually carry out the mandate of the river basin. River basins are supposed to be the main focus of food production in Nigeria, in partnership with our supervising agents ministry, which is Ministry of Water Resources and Ministry of Agric. So when we partner with all these people, you realize the fact that food prices will begin to come down. But it's so interesting to let you know that right now, most staffs in the river basins are virtually not doing anything. And that's a fact. So when I resumed, I was like, what are you guys doing? Most equipment are down. Nothing is happening in most of the river basin. Okay, look at the budget. How can you budget? Most of the river basin got less than 6 billion on the window, the budget window. Now, out of this 6 billion, less than 4 billion is for is for capital. Now you want how do we now get into that food security? So we must look at all these things. We want to partner with the federal government and let the federal government know that river basin is the main focus, and we want everybody to understand on this.
Interesting stuff. You also talked about cooperation with the host communities to enable you achieve your aim. You've complained about budgeting and all of that now. So how do you intend to address some of these challenges? Because you need to make a move. Everyone expects results despite these challenges.
Yeah. The host community issue is about security and high production. Now, when you look at it, river basin across Nigeria are in all the local governments in Nigeria, 700 and something local governments in Nigeria. And so we need to collaborate with the host community, with the local government, to ensure that we have sufficient and effective system of production. So without you collaborating with the communities and letting them know, give them awareness of why you are there, what they will derive, what will come to them, what they will benefit. They can do it. Take, for instance, in Benin, when I resumed, our integrated farm were complete, integrated farm that will have employed minimum 500, that will be produced, that will have crashed a lot of food prices down in that area. You won't believe it that they completely vandalized it, vandalized it. And I called the communities, when I sat down with them, the host communities in Obayantu, and I let them know, look, you have not done anybody a favor by doing this, by allowing people to do this. But rather, you have done yourself this favor because this thing belongs to you. Don't think when the federal government cites a project in your place, if you are thinking the project belongs to federal government, you are making a mistake. The project actually belongs to you, for you to guide it, for you to protect it, for your maximum benefit. And that was what I made them to realize. And we took them to the place, and some of them were just crying that you mean this vandalized to this extent. And I said, look, if you don't need police, you don't need army to come and guide this kind of infrastructure provided by federal government. You guide it yourself, because the first people that will be considered for employment is the community. So we are now looking at collaborating with the community to ensure effective management of our farmland. And apart from that, we are going into data-driven mechanism. We want to have data of all our hectares. We want to know that, okay, you can plant this one here. It will give us maximum benefit, maximum production. And we want to go into cyber security, what's it called? Cameras and others. We put them in all our farm and know what is happening there at every point in time. So these are the things we are doing. But moving ahead, for river basin, we need all the host community, and you must be talking to them at every point in time for feedback mechanism, so that they keep on telling you, okay, this is what they discover, and that's at every point in time. And that's what we're going to do.
Okay, now let's talk about opportunities that your new management is going to create that will definitely attract investment, because you must attract investment, and you talked about it. Tell us also about that.
Oh yeah, like one of the things one of the things we are focused on, in line with our mandate as a river basin, is to crash the food prices in Nigeria, in my catchment area. And I want to believe all other river basin management, the 12 river basin, we have a platform, and that is our focus, all of us. We said, Mr. President has appointed us not based on favoritism, but based on capability. And the mandate he gave us is, please go and crash food prices. Get in. And he has started, I was so impressed when Mr. President told the governor of Edo State that they want the budget on agriculture to be improved on. And look at the governor of Edo State. He came to Obayanto, that's my catchment area, and he said, look, I want to invest in agriculture. And that is the way to go. So we are going to invest massively on that aspect. We are going to invest on training of our staff. Most of the staff of River Basin, they don't even know, they don't even go for training anymore. So we are going to train them. We are going to employ more people. We are going to partner with quite a lot of agencies, quite a lot of ministries. Take, for instance, Ministry of Youth. We are going to partner with the Ministry of Youth to ensure that most of our youth coppers get back to farm, start producing. If you have like 1,009 coppers now with us, or 500 coppers with us, we train them on agric, we put them in this, all these sectors that we have, and they start producing. That is the way to go. Not to put them in bank to go and serve, and at the end of it, you not provide for the job for them. And at the end of the day, when another focus is to make sure that the youth, we enlighten the youth and let them see that, look, agriculture, when you go into agri-produce, you will be more better than going into any job. Most of the job now, even if you earn the minimum amount is 70,000. Even if you earn 200,000, you cannot sustain most families. So why don't you go into production? If you go to China, for instance, China in the fall, there is no home in China. There is no home in Malaysia that does not have what they produce. Some produce melon. They focus on melon. They focus on tomatoes. And they focus. Any home in China must come up with one production. But in Nigeria, every home wants his or her children to move to Lagos, to move to Abuja, to move to Port Harcourt. These are areas, and they will not do anything. They will not go there to farm. Myself, I have 20 hectares of farm before I was appointed. 20 hectares. Wow. And that's why I don't buy yam, maybe occasionally few, but that's where I get my yam, that's why I get my cassava. And today, take for instance the issue of ginger. Ginger, before in Nigeria, a bundle of ginger, people get it for 100 naira, 200 naira. But today, it may interest you to know that ginger is a kilo of ginger is $800. So if somebody embark, if youth coppers, you train 500 of them to embark on production of ginger, and you put them in this ginger, you can imagine how many forex we're going to derive from it. All right. And that's our focus. And we're going to partner with not only the Minister of Youth, we are going to partner with Minister of Agric, because it may interest you to know we are supposed to be partnering with Minister of Agric to get seed for planting. But these are not happening. Yeah.
I think it's a new dawn for the Benin-Owena River Basin Development Authority. We'll keep a tab on this, follow you through, and of course, monitor and evaluate all that is going to be happening there. Dr. Femi Adekombi, that's our time. Thank you so much for joining us on this program, and we hope to have you in again.
It's not only Benin-Owena.
More conversation.
It's going to be all the river basin. It's
all right then. All right then. We will have you in again so that we do a monitoring and evaluation of all that you've told us today. Thank you, and have a great week.